Hello. Denise here, and this is week 3 of our The Ripple Effect Challenge, which is 4 weeks of experiencing conscious living. And we've had different themes each week, and this is Thursday, and this theme for this week is finding your current boundaries and voice. So finding your, like, what boundaries, parameters you get to have for you in your life, and also finding your voice, your authentic voice, which there's so much power in that. So this is the Ask Me Anything, where questions or scenarios have been submitted and I get to respond. So however you found me on this live right now, welcome. So happy you are here. Denise Openshaw. You've probably found me on my personal page, and I am the founder of Lead the Change, and we are creating mindfulness. That's what we do, mindfulness at home and workplaces. And this series of conscious and intentional living has been so much fun to play with. So I'm super excited to jump in tonight and share with you some of the scenarios or questions that came up, all incredibly powerful when it comes to this topic of finding your current and really creating boundaries that are supportive and healthy for you and others in your life, as well as finding your voice. So scenario number 1 is actually one recovering people pleaser here. And so scenario number 1 is people pleasing, being that person that always says yes, even when you mean no. So your heart tells you no, your mind tells you no, your body might tell you no, but you're like, yes, when you really mean no. So the situation, I'll give you a situation, all right? So this has come up for me many times, but a friend asks for a favor of you, and your plate is extremely full, abundance of things going on in your life. And you know that saying yes will leave you overwhelmed, feeling overwhelmed because you have so much going on. But before you've even thought about it, literally the word yes just comes out of your mouth. And it's like, what did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just add to my plate? I'm already struggling with all the things I have going on. And you realize I'm just trying to be kind. I don't want to let other people down. People pleasing can come in all sorts of ways and look all different kinds, different situations, circumstances. But the bottom line is that we are saying something we feel contrary to in our heart, our soul, our mind, our body, all the things, because it might have been a way that we were raised, or whatever the case may be, trying to prove our worth and value to ourselves and to others. Lots of different things that happen, but this isn't really about kindness. Brene Brown, Dr. Brene Brown, has done so much research on shame. And if you want to look up some really great stuff, I'm just re-listening to her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. Oh my goodness, it's so amazing what she has in there, especially the new 10th anniversary edition. So so many times around shame or the need to prove our worth or value, we say yes when we really mean no. And it's not about being kind. Brene Brown really lands this well when she says, people think they're being nice, but when you are nice, you are like people pleasing. When you are kind, you actually get to be honest. You are honest. You're honest with yourself and you're honest with the people in your life. You're not just saying yes when you really mean no. So this opportunity is to find your current and understand this isn't being kind. Being kind is being honest and true to yourself and to others, creating that win-win. It really boils down to, when you say yes, though you mean no, it's about abandoning yourself to keep someone else comfortable. Let me say that again. When you say yes and you really mean no, it's about abandoning yourself to keep someone else comfortable. So what saying yes costs you is your peace, your comfort zone may be really stretched, but your nervous system may be completely taxed. And your yes is no longer generous. It actually is opposite. It's self-sacrifice. You become a martyr oftentimes. So know that healthy boundaries aren't about loving others less. They're actually about loving yourself enough to be honest with the other people in your life. So the real question here is, what if saying no to someone is actually saying yes to the person you're becoming. Saying yes to you. My dear friend Tina Paulus Krauss says this often, and I've heard this in many different places, but it's like, no is a complete sentence. The word no, and it's okay. There's no need when you say no to something or someone, there's no need to explain yourself or make any rationalizations or justifications. You can simply say no. There's a whole book, actually. I think it's called The Art of Saying No. Excellent book. And what I found for me that works really well is not at this time, thank you so much for thinking of me, or something to that effect, because that's how it works for me the best. So people pleasing, right? Set the boundaries, know what it is that you want. Don't allow yourself to pay prices and become a martyr when in actuality it's not being kind to you or to the other person. It's being nice. And nice doesn't always work. So scenario 2, this situation, you're sitting in a meeting. Excuse me, you're sitting, okay, one second. Obviously this one hits me to the core, right in the heart. So the scenario is that you're sitting in a meeting or a family conversation and you have an idea that could really help, but you stay quiet. Later, someone else says almost exactly what you were thinking and everyone loves it. Okay, I just wasn't sure. In your head, you're in this story. I just wasn't sure if it was okay, if it was going to be the right way to do it, if someone was going to actually listen to me or hear what I had to say. So it's often it's not about the lack of ideas. You have the ideas, you have your intuition. It's learning to trust your intuition when an idea comes, and also being okay with if it gets shot down, or and maybe you feel really strongly about it and you get to stand for it and you get to enroll people into that idea that you had. It's really comes forward because you're not trusting yourself and you're not trusting your voice. Somewhere along the way, you may have learned that speaking wasn't safe, that sharing your ideas wasn't safe or welcome or valued, and that your voice doesn't become powerful because everyone agrees with it. It becomes powerful because you own it. It's authentically yours. And so let me say that again. Your voice doesn't become powerful because everyone agrees with what you said. It becomes powerful because it's authentically yours, speaking your truth in a responsible way. So the question is, where did you learn that your voice mattered less than everyone else's? And what would it look like to gently reclaim it? Again, the question that I'm asking for you to ponder on is, where did you learn that your voice mattered less than everyone else's, and what it would look like? What would it look like to gently reclaim it? Some food for thought, for sure. Typically, there's lessons that we learn around everything in life that come from birth to 7, and how much that develops and supports us. The patterns that we create happen so frequently at that time, and the thoughts, the stories that we make up, that we spend the rest of our lives learning to reframe that story, to come up with a new perception, see through a new lens. So it's something to think about, where it was that you learned your voice wasn't heard or valued, what you had to share. So scenario number 3, and this is a big one. There's a whole book on this too. It's actually in my library right now to listen to again, and it's the knowing doing gap. And the situation is, you know exactly what you need to do. I mean, how often do you find yourself in the situation where you're like, I know what I need to do. I know that I need to eat healthier. I know that I need to exercise every day. I know. And you know exactly what you need to do. You have the conversation. You set the boundary with someone, or even with yourself. Honestly, it could be your word to yourself about eating healthy or working out. But in this case, let's look at it from a relationship perspective. And you know what you need to do in this relationship. You have the conversation. You communicate what the boundary is that you are requesting, not demanding, requesting of that person. And you start whatever it is that needs to be started. You start a project. You make the phone call. you're going through the process, and now days and weeks go by, and you're finding that nothing has changed in that relationship. That the way that the person speaks to you, that the way that they value your time, whatever it might be. And it could just be something you're telling yourself that you get to do. Let's just stick with this story of, like, eating healthy and exercising, because I'm on that right now. I'm on that path. And sometimes you just feel like, and you say to yourself, I just need more motivation. You may have heard that motivation doesn't come until you get moving and action. And then the motivation comes. But the gap isn't here. The gap isn't usually between the knowing and the learning. It comes between the knowing and trusting yourself enough to act. Courage, as we know, is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway, knowing what it is that you need to do, having the courage to do it, and then allowing that motivation to come. It's choosing alignment with your vision and living with intention, even when you don't feel like it, even when fear is present, even when. It's the both and. It's feeling the thing, the fear, the whatever it is, and choosing consciously to do it anyway. So the question that I want to pose here for you, as questions come in, right? So looking at these scenarios, questions for you to ponder on. And this is the question around the knowing doing gap. I know what I need to do, gap, to actually creating it, doing it. So here's the question for you. What conversation, decision, or boundary have you already decided on, but haven't yet trusted yourself enough to act on? And I'll make sure to post these questions below so you have them as well. But here's this question around the knowing doing gap again. What conversation, decision, or boundary have you already decided on? You know what it is you need to do, but you haven't trusted yourself enough to act on it. All right, ready for the next one? This is scenario number 4. So sometimes when we set a boundary, and I know not everyone loves the word boundary. So again, it could be a parameter, it could be, whatever it is that you want it to be for you, so it feels aligned. But the idea is that you know what it is that you want, you need, and you communicate it responsibly to other people, making those requests, which means someone can say yes, no, or negotiate the terms of your request, versus demands, which are your agenda, my way or the highway. So it's communicating what you need, what you want, and what you're going to allow another person to impose upon you, so, or not, and being really clear about that and being able to communicate that. So sometimes when we set a boundary, afterwards we feel a little guilty. So here's the situation in this case. You finally have the courage to say no. You ask for what you need, you set a healthy boundary, and then some guilt starts to creep in. You're like, this doesn't feel good. Like, I feel like I should be going to the church and doing, and cleaning for 2 hours, when really I said that I would go and do something else this day, or I need to clean my own house, whatever it is, the guilt starts creeping in. And you replay the conversation that you had over and over, wondering if you were selfish, whatever that conversation was. So set the boundary. This is what I need from you in this situation. And then you start feeling like it's too much. You ask too much of that person, whatever the case may be. You're starting to feel a little guilty about it because it's new, it's stretchy, and the story that you're telling yourself is, I shouldn't feel bad about setting boundaries. I shouldn't feel guilty in any way. But here's the thing, is guilt doesn't always mean you're doing something wrong. In fact, going back to Dr. Brené Brown, oftentimes the difference, I'll tell you the difference that she defines it as, is shame says, I'm a bad person. Guilt says, I've done something bad. Okay? Guilt actually can be a motivator in a lot of cases. And so guilt doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. Sometimes it simply means you're doing something different. It's uncomfortable. It's out of your comfort zone. It's stretchy a little bit. And you know what you want. You've communicated it. You start feeling a little bit of this guilt. And then the question is, what do you do with that? Do you allow that guilt to now take you back to falling into the old patterns and the old communication and not establishing a win-win where you're losing and you're becoming a martyr? Because here's the thing, when I give my power away to another person, I become victim. When I take another person's power or their responsibility, I become a martyr. And I will tell you, I was the best martyr mom. I'm still working on it with my last child. But here's the thing is when we create boundaries and we allow other people to create boundaries, we have these safe spaces in our lives, emotionally, and sometimes physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. And so when that guilt starts to creep in, make a choice, make a conscious choice to know and recognize what's really happening. It's your comfort zone that is stretchy and you're uncomfortable in this. And so you spent so many years, possibly like me, prioritizing everyone else's needs. And your nervous system may interpret healthy boundaries to be unsafe. So continue to practice communicating what it is you want and need, holding that boundary. When you start feeling the guilt, allow yourself to recognize what it really is, call it forward, name it. I'm feeling guilty about this because it feels uncomfortable. It's new to me. And recognize it for what it is, and then make that conscious choice to keep that boundary because you asked for that boundary. You created that boundary for a reason. And be really clear about what that is. So here's a question for you to ponder on is what if the discomfort you're feeling isn't a sign your boundary was wrong, but a sign you're growing into a healthier way of relating with other people? What if the discomfort you're feeling isn't a sign your boundary was wrong, but a sign you're growing into a healthier way of relating with other people? Food for thought. All right. So scenario number 5. Wow, I've known some people in my life who are masters at this, being a chameleon, being all things to all people. And oh yeah, I've probably done a little bit of this myself, but let's just say the situation is that you notice you're a different version of yourself depending upon who you're with. So maybe in one scenario, you're a massive people pleaser. And in another scenario, you are like, take charge, like make things happen. And another one, you find yourself pulling back, not trusting your voice. Whatever the case may be, whoever you're with, you allow their energy to drive your energy. You take their energy on. I always like this saying, and I've heard this and I say it all the time, is be the thermostat in the room, not the thermometer. So we can go into a situation, we can be the thermometer and we can take the temperature in the room, but the truth is we want to be the ones controlling that temperature. So let's say that temperature is really your energy, and it is what it is that you are coming in your authentic space, authentically who you are, not allowing yourself to be a shapeshifter, energy shifter just to meet the demands of the room, because that creates an imbalance in power or authenticity, and it's giving yourself away to another person. Again, martyr. It absolutely comes back to that. So scenarios, you're at work. At work, you're one person. Sometimes you're doing the job of 3 people, but you're one person. And you notice that at work, that being that one person that you are, and maybe you are doing the job of 3 people, and you really want to communicate that with someone because it's challenging, and you find yourself kind of holding back and not saying what I want, and then you're a totally different person, like Jekyll and Hyde with your family, and when you're around certain friends, you either are like vivacious because they're vivacious, or maybe you're in a room with vivacious people who are all life of the party, and you start to shrink back because you don't feel like you measure up. So many scenarios we could come up with in this. The chameleon, right? I'm just adaptable is the story, but and adaptability is a gift. Losing yourself isn't. Hear that again. Adaptability and adapting to speak to someone so that it lands to meet them where they're at, that is a gift and a skill that you can learn. But losing yourself isn't a gift. Hiding, pulling back, shrinking, making yourself smaller, whatever the case may be, or being louder because you have to be louder. Authenticity doesn't mean being the same in every situation, because you're going to adapt, but it does mean staying connected to your values, to what drives you personally as the being that you are, your core values of what's most important to you, and authentically being you, not allowing yourself to shift just because of who's in the room, but shifting out of conscious choice, adapting to the style of the communication, adapting to the energy of the room. Yes, you can do that if it's intentional. It's when it's unintentional that it becomes that chameleon, I gotta shift so I can feel safe. When you feel safe, you feel whole, aligned, body, heart, mind, and spirit, you can stand in any situation, in any conversation, and be you, and hold that space powerfully and responsibly. So connecting to the truth of who you are. So the question I pose for you with this scenario, the chameleon, is where in your life do you feel the most like yourself? Maybe there is a situation, a group of people, whatever it may be. Where in your life do you feel most like yourself? And where sometimes do you feel like you're performing instead of being authentic? When or where do you feel you're performing instead of being authentic? Just so you can feel like you fit in, so you feel like you can belong in that situation, with that person, whatever it may be. So yeah, so many good things there. One more scenario before we wrap up for tonight. So this is our final scenario, and this scenario is the fear of disappointing others. People pleasing really goes back to people pleasing. So it's perfect. It's perfect. So in this situation, you know the decision that you need to make. You're clear what the decision is. You know it's the right one. You're trusting your intuition. You're acting on that trust factor. You have the courage, but you keep pushing it off. You keep delaying it because someone you care about may not understand, or maybe they'll be disappointed in you. You know in your heart, in your soul, that there is something that you need to do, that you get to do, that you're choosing to do. And it's like, tomorrow. I know there's things in my life and stories that I get to tell and experiences I get to share. And oftentimes I find myself getting tripped up because of what someone might think, or I might hurt someone's feelings by sharing something. And the thing is we tell ourselves, I just need a little more time to sit with this. I just need a little more time to create support around this, whatever it is. Sometimes what we're really waiting for is permission. Permission to choose ourselves. Permission to disappoint someone else without abandoning who we are, our authentic self. Living in alignment doesn't mean that everyone will agree with your choices. Living your vision, living in alignment, body, heart, mind, spirit, does not mean that everyone in your life will agree with your choices. You might lose some friends. You might have family that decides they don't want to be a part of your life anymore. But here's the thing. If you want to be in a space of authenticity and using your voice and creating these healthy boundaries, then that is exactly what you get to choose, with intention, with responsibility, communicating those boundaries and using your voice in a loving and responsible way. We don't make boundaries to hurt people. We don't do things, because we're afraid of disappointing someone, like do them or not do them, if we're making a choice from a conscious place. So we can choose to operate out of fear of disappointing other people, or we can choose to do the things that really are the things we want to do in our lives because it's who we are. And it means that our choices reflect our deepest values. And I'm talking your core values. For me, honesty is one of my core values. Integrity is the top of my chart. So these are the values that drive us: leadership, connection, whatever those values are that are highest in yours and on your value chart. I have charts if you need one to operate or to complete your own value assessment. Really, really great opportunity to create that for yourself. If you haven't done that before, let me know below. Reach out to me, message me, let me know you want that. So here's the thing: is when we live in alignment with our values, with our vision, everything else falls into place. There's a quote that I absolutely love, and this is from Ezra Taft Benson is the person who said this, and in this case, it's putting God first. And he gave this talk, and it is that if when you put God first, all other things will fall out of your life or into their proper order and perspective. And I would say that God gives us our values. And so when you put your values, the God-given values that have been placed in your soul, when you put those first, everything else will fall out of your life or fall into the proper order perspective. And so know that when you're operating from this place of alignment and vision, that you're here to, like, my intention when I'm living in that space is to make the world a better place. It's not selfish in any way, shape, or form. And so my having boundaries and communicating those with other people allows me to stay focused on my values, allows me to stay focused on my vision, love them, cheer them on with whatever they have going on in their lives without it impeding my growth and progress. So whether they're disappointed in me or whatever the case may be, if people are judging me or whatever, like, that's their business. And one of my favorite sayings my sister often says to me, she's like, it's none of your business what other people think about you. So it's true. So here's the question for you on this is, if you knew someone might be disappointed, but you also knew you were honoring your deepest values, would you still make the same choice? If you knew someone might be disappointed, but you also knew you were honoring your deepest values, would you still make the same choice? Powerful reflection for you today. Again, I will drop those questions here below. It's been, as always, wonderful to be here with you on this live. And please, if you have questions, we have a new topic next week, and let me actually find what that topic is, because I know it's our final week, and I would love to have your questions submitted. And I can't find that right off, but you're going to see it on Monday. I'll come on and I'll share with you what the topic is for this final week. We've gone from surface tension, awareness, and presence into the wave of what happens, our nervous system and our regulation, to this week, which is our boundaries and our voice. And so make sure to check back on Monday so you have the final theme that we have for our 4th week of experiencing the 4-week experience of living in intention, intentional living, as we say, because truly every moment that we choose in our life, one choice creates one ripple. Actually, let me get that right. One moment, one choice, infinite ripples. Every moment that we choose to live in intention, we are choosing to create connection, compassion, love, leading with that love. So we have those moments that we're choosing intentionally versus just letting life happen and flow organically, whatever it may be. One moment, one choice, that conscious choice, being intentional, living intentionally, creates infinite ripples all around us. So know that finding your current isn't about becoming louder. It's about becoming more aligned with who you are, with the deepest core values, what makes you you. It's learning to recognize the difference between the life you've adapted to and the life that is calling you, your soul's calling, your soul's purpose, what you were put here on this earth to do. Every healthy boundary, every honest conversation, every courageous no, and every authentic yes moves you closer to being the person that God intended for you to be, to really live with that soul purpose, to live with intention, connected and aligned to your deepest core values. Because your voice isn't something you have to manufacture. It's something that you get to discover, uncover the brilliance of you. And when you begin to live from this place of intention and your alignment with your values, alignment with your vision, you don't have to force anything. The current flows in your behalf and everything else falls out or into its proper order and perspective, and the flow happens. And it's such a beautiful thing, that current that happens. And so it is my absolute hope for all of us to be in this space where we live with intention and choose to set healthy boundaries, to say yes when we mean yes, to say no when we mean no, and to create opportunities to be in our authentic self. So amazing. Thank you so much for being here today with me on this live. And definitely catch those questions that I asked below. And if you want to submit questions for next week, or you have questions on topics, I'll make sure you have that 4th week topic, and check back Monday here on my Facebook to see what is the next theme as well, and what questions you might be able to ask around that theme. So everyone have a lovely evening and good night for now.